another episode of On the Couch with McNeill Real Estate. My name is Janet, and today I'm delighted to welcome Naomi Modae from One Room at a Time. So welcome. Now, Naomi is a local lady tradie who specialises in renovating small-scale projects with high detailed finishes.
Correct. Yes.
So that's fantastic. So obviously painting and that kind of thing.
It's quite a large range
Yes.
that I've learned over the years. I've been a female tradie for now 22 years, and I have a real thirst for learning. So it's not just painting, it's tiling in sort of detailed mosaics, plastering. I've also got a background in interior design. So it's quite a large range, as long as it's small scale. I work with clients, and that's basically what I do.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So obviously you are a local. What do you love most about the Mornington Peninsula?
I love that it has almost like a small community in itself, and also the landscape is something that I really, really enjoy. And also there's I guess in a way, a bit of a bubble where everyone's trying to support each other with their local businesses and promoting each other, which is fantastic.
Yep, that's true. We are a unique bunch.
Yes, yeah.
So you touched a little bit on it. How long have you been in business as One Room at a Time?
One room at a time, I think from memory, probably now about 6 years, but as a female tradie, 22
years.
Fantastic. So a long time.
Do you find it sort of different being a female tradie? Do you have any different sort of, I guess, ways you talk to clients or clients talk to you or anything?
I guess when I get feedback, say for instance there was an example, I got feedback from one client who had only been dealing with me, so she got so comfortable and used to that I guess she just presumed that would be all the tradies.
Yes.
But then when she got a different tradie in, she really realised what I did offer even more, and it's a more of a personal approach. I like people to feel comfortable and not silly to ask questions that they've got no clue on. I want them to feel that they can ask me anything, and I explain it in a way that then they go, oh, I get it, and that we work together as a team. And I think that is an approach that I have that not every other tradie has, that I like to put forward with my clients.
Yeah, that's brilliant, because a lot of the times the trades, and I guess maybe they're a little bit too busy, or they don't necessarily have the people skills. They know how to do the work, but don't have the people skills to be able to communicate and understand what the client wants and make sure that everyone's on the same track. So by the end of the project, everyone's happy because they've got the client's got what they wanted. The tradies understood what they wanted, created the product that the client wanted, and everyone's happy.
Absolutely,
yeah, that's great. So, what sort of renovation do you actually specialise in?
It's sort of it's a hard thing. It's like one time my sister said to me, rather than tell people what you do, tell them what you can't do.
Okay.
It just keeps growing and growing. Like in recent times, I've also just completed and certified now in waterproofing.
Okay.
And also in Venetian plastering. So it's just a forever growing business where I like to dabble in so many different things. One, because I love learning, but two, it means that when I actually meet a client, they don't have to deal with 10 different other trades. They can just come to me and go, well, this is the idea I have, what can we do? And I go, well, I can do that, I can do that, and I can do that. So therefore they're only dealing with myself from start to finish. And that way they feel like they're being also heard, which is really important for me to allow them to achieve what their visions are from start to finish, basically.
Yes. No, that's fantastic. So how much actual information does a client need to actually give you before you can start working?
I think the most important thing is for the client to really get to know themselves. And when you get to know yourself, you then start to realise what it is that you want to achieve. So what I do is I don't jump in and go, X, Y, Z, and make it overwhelming. I give them small steps to work from, so then that way they don't get overwhelmed with the project. And then once the job progresses, we move bigger and bigger, and then they're more relaxed with that. And once they've found the direction, I find that they get a lot of confidence, and then they will throw larger projects. Well, when I say larger projects, sort of more detailed projects, not
Yes.
larger,
Yes,
still
more
small
complex.
scale. Yes,
Yeah. No, that sounds great. So obviously, as you mentioned, you do the tiling and the painting.
Yes.
What other, like I jumped on Instagram and had a look at some of the photos that you do. So what other sort of things could you do for someone in a project?
Like I mentioned, I've just finished doing the waterproofing. So say for instance, if someone was having a brand new bathroom and they wanted someone that was certified, that really understood the process of having things waterproofed properly, because there's a lot of people in the industry that haven't necessarily done the application correctly, and there's a lot of issues with shower leaks and so forth.
Yes.
Which maybe I'm guessing that maybe you've had that experience.
Well, in our experience, especially, it's one of the main things when we go in and do an appraisal for someone. First thing we look at is the wet areas.
Yes.
Is there any damage to the walls and the skirtings and tiles and that kind of thing? Because that is the number one thing that will fail a building inspection. Absolutely. And it can be the difference between a minor repair or a major fault. So it's vitally, from our point of view, it's vital that if someone's putting the property on the market, make sure that the wet areas have been treated if they need it.
Absolutely.
Very vital. Yep.
And as I mentioned also, I've studied interior design. So some clients might, they know, they have their interests, but they sometimes can lack a little bit of confidence. They get a bit scared. So I kind of try and encourage that by, looking into probably the rest of their home to work out what it is their style is.
Yes.
And then that, because I've also had the studying behind that, I can work that and then bring that out of them, so we can create a space that is actually their style, not my style, but I'm bringing my skill set in.
Yes.
And also collaborating all the colours and the textures to go really well together. And, I just have an extensive knowledge on paint applications and preparation. So again, when people are feeling a bit scared and daunted, there's so many areas that I have the skill set, the study behind it, as well as physically. I might not look like I'm on the tools, but I believe me, I am. Go on my Instagram, you'll see me on
Instagram,
the tools.
You've got the overalls, the paint spatters all over you.
Dust, everything. So
it's brilliant. So obviously you do bathrooms, you do kitchens. Do you do like every room in the house?
Pretty much, yes. Like I say, for instance, I was just doing a splashback for a client recently, and it was marble mosaics. And then they had a bit of an explore on my Instagram, and they were like, "Oh, while you're here, do you think you could, fit off these architraves and these skirtings in the other room?" And I was like, "Yeah, not a problem."
Right.
So it starts off sometimes as something small, and then when they realise that I have so many more abilities, then it just goes from there.
Yeah, it snowballs like any renovation.
True.
You start with one room and you've done the whole house. So your Instagram shows a variety of renovation projects. Do you have a favourite?
I would say definitely the Venetian plastering.
Yes.
I'm very, very passionate about that. Hence why I've done a lot of studying. I've been taught by an artisan who's originally from Italy, named Mario. Amazing guy. He's taught me a lot and taught me through the course for wet areas.
Yes.
And then I've had an amazing teacher teach me, so now I'm certified in waterproofing. So it's just a huge passion of mine for bathrooms and in the Venetian plastering. So I'd have to say that's my favourite.
Okay. Well, stay tuned, because in the next video we'll be talking all about that skill, and I'm quite fascinated to learn more about Venetian plastering. So how do people get in touch with you and your business, Naomi?
They can find me through either one of my Instagrams, because the one thing, it's like that saying, a picture says 1,000 words. So even when someone refers me as word of mouth, which I love, I always refer them to that first, because I want them to see physically what I can do, because also it shows them, makes them think, oh, well, maybe we can get her to do this because we can see these projects that she's done. So that would be the best source that I would say.
Okay, that's fantastic. So check out One Room at a Time on Instagram. And also, to finish, what do you do when you're not working?
I spend a lot of time in nature with my dogs. It's like one of my other favourite things to do, so I love it.
Yep, fantastic. And obviously the Mornington Peninsula has a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
Some beautiful walks and the beaches and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us today,
Thank you for having
Naomi. It's been a pleasure to learn more about you and your business.
Sure.
And that concludes another episode of On the Couch with McNeill Real Estate. And thank you for watching.